Hey y'all, it's your girl TDB, and we are back with another episode of
Rum
Rum Punch
Punch
and
and
Beignets
Beignets
podcast,
podcast.
brought to you by Boot Crew Media. Check out our exclusive content and giveaways and episodes from our brother and sister podcast at www.bootcrewmedia.com. This week's episode is sponsored by Sweet Embrace. These quality handmade accessories are here to simplify your beauty routine with no tutorials necessary. They are pre-tied, I'm sorry, y'all, satin lined turbans and headbands made to make protective styling easier and bad hair days a thing of the past. Make sure you visit them online at shopsweetembrace.com and follow them on Instagram at shopsweetembrace. So today, you guys, I'm trying, y'all, I'm just be honest. I am trying to shake back and, give me a little boost of energy. That's why I'm drinking a Coke right now. And I do not drink cold drinks. So y'all know it's bad. Pray for me. But yeah, so today we getting into something a little heavy. Okay, a little heavy. We are talking about unlearning childhood traumas. Now, we kind of touched on this before in the first season where we were talking about lineage, karmic karmic lineage. That's not the
Ancestral
word.
trauma.
Ancestral motherfucking trauma, girl. I told y'all I'm a little off today. I'm a little.
Y'all don't mind her here. Just
Ancestral trauma. So yes, now we're going to dive a little deeper, and we're going to talk about childhood traumas and how to unlearn them, how to heal from them. So first, what is exactly childhood trauma? So, childhood trauma is a negative impact or experience that occurs during your childhood, be it abuse, neglect, witnessing something that has happened, abandonment, any type of negativity, any type of situation that may have brought harm to a person physically or mentally. And it occurs, it usually occurs when a child witnesses or experiences overwhelming negative events in their childhood. Many childhood experiences can overwhelm a child and occur in relationships such as abuse, assault, neglect, violence, exploitation, or bullying. Children can also experience traumatic events. That is basically what childhood trauma is. I feel like everyone has dealt with something that was traumatic for them at a young age. Something that has shaped who they are today and how they might react to something or how they might perceive something and what boundaries or whatever fears that they have. Like everybody's going through something, one thing. Dom, so do you have an example of a traumatic experience that happened to you?
an example where I experienced childhood trauma. Um, I guess that might be considered childhood trauma, like the dysfunction, like within your family. I guess, like how my grandmother didn't like my dad for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was not fucking with each other for a long time. Like I think they finally like quit being beefed out. I may have been like 17
Oh wow. Now why they was beefing?
because my parents, as I told y'all on the family dynamics episode, my parents had me when they were really young. And so my dad had got to finish school. My mama finished high school too. They both went to college but didn't finish. My mama tried, but then she got pregnant with me. And so my grandmother was like mad at my granddaddy. I mean, not my granddaddy, mad at my daddy because she felt like my daddy ruined my mama life.
Oh.
So, and you know, my dad had his stuff, his personal trauma he went through and all of that. it really it really makes you, as an adult, it really makes you sit back and think, that's all they know.
Right.
Like they really just be repeating the cycle. And now we got to be the ones to break
To
it.
break it, yeah.
Yeah, but they was real beefed out for a long time about that because my grandma felt like my mom was too young to get married and start having children because she had me. She was 18. My daddy was like 21. But see, my brother was already born.
Mm.
So, but she just felt like they was too young. And she blamed my daddy a lot. Even though it takes two to
two to
two.
tango.
Hello. If you're gonna be mad at my daddy, be mad at my mama too. Cause I
Right.
mean,
She the one that let him do it. I
hello.
mean,
But yeah, they was mad at each other. They didn't really fuck with each other for a long time. And then like, my aunts and uncles didn't really like my dad for a long time either. And I remember that. I remember they had like a knockdown, drag out. Like, I think I may have been probably like 7 or 8. And they had a meeting because I think my dad was like dabbling with some shit.
mm-hmm.
Come to find out later, I found out what the shit was. So my dad, was in his shit, running the streets and shit. And I think I remember we went by my uncle's house and my family had a meeting. They wanted to have a meeting with my mom and daddy to figure out like what the fuck is going on, bro. Like, why are you like this?
Right.
And I could blame it on him just still being young and try to find his way. But I'm sorry, when you got a family, like you kind of gotta, like you gotta grow up.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was there yet. Like he still was behaving like, a young man without a family. And so they had like a whole shit was weird. They had like this whole intervention type deal. My mama don't think I remember it, but I do. She probably, if she listens to she probably finna listen and hear that I actually remember it. So yeah, I remember my brother and sister may have been like little. My younger brother and sister may have been like little toddlers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even think they remember it, but I do. They did it like this intervention style, like, bro, you need to chill the fuck out. Sit your ass down. You have family, you have a good wife. Like what the fuck you out here acting an ass for? And they had like a whole fight after the intervention. And I remember it.
Girl.
And I can't say I hate I remember it because I probably needed to remember it.
Right.
Something. And I think it's something that I probably kept tucked away for a long time. Like for a long, long time. But yeah, like they was fighting. And I remember the police had to come. Like, girl, I was like, y'all really was fighting each other about this nigga that kept messing up. As much as I love my dad, this nigga kept messing up over and over and over and over. And y'all fighting went from having a whole calm intervention style as family meeting to this nigga cutting up and y'all fighting.
Girl. Well, that can definitely be traumatic because you're not expecting that to happen in your family. Like how you would think your family are supposed to be like, happy and for each other and love each other, but then only to see that they are at each other's necks and they probably would kill each other if they had the fucking chance.
Nigga, like somebody drank some Jim Beam whiskey and that was it. Like it just
Lord blew up from there.
Yeah.
Bless
I looked at them differently for a long time because I'm just like, y'all really, all of y'all was really out here acting the ass and fighting.
They felt like that's what they needed to do. They felt like they had their fucking reason.
I feel like they tried it the right way with the intervention style meeting, but then my daddy, being who my father is, he took it there. I guarantee you, because
he took it there and they finished it. Yep, that's what it sounded like.
Girl, yeah, and then he went to jail, and I remember he went to jail because he punched my uncle, and and I remember my mama crying and was like, "Don't take him to jail, don't take him to jail," and I'm looking like, nigga, y'all was fighting. All y'all need to go to jail.
Right.
Because, as a kid, that's what they tell you. They tell you do something wrong, you most likely you going to jail. So I'm like, okay, y'all fighting. Everybody got to go to jail except my mama. So.
But she wasn't fighting with him? She was on the side?
No, my mama is not that kind of person, y'all. Like, if those of y'all that listen to the show that know my mama, y'all already know my mama is not that person. Like, I think that's where I get my kindness from her. But like, the hothead shit or the stubbornness I used to have, yeah, from the nigga that started to fight.
Well, yes, that shit is traumatic. That can definitely be traumatic because that just shapes how you decided to grow up and probably shapes how you deal with your family and how you probably want to have your relationship with your family in the future.
I just don't want it to be where it used to be. That's all I know. Cause aside from that, like when people died in the family, like the secrets that came out and the way they try to bury it, and I think that's for every family, especially Black families.
Yeah.
Just the secrets that come out at death, and then the things the family try to hide, and then you just be like, okay. But because of all you look at your family history and you be like, okay, I'm an adult now. I have the power to change how I conduct myself within my own household.
Right.
Based off of those experiences. Being raised the way I was, and then, before my parents like decided to change their life and get in church and whatnot, like they were people, and they'll tell you that right now. Like, still, my dad will be like, "Yeah, I was a old tough SOB." He say that every time I call him, and he just go back down memory lane, and I just be like, "Dad, okay, I get the point. I get it."
I feel like I don't want to call them old person, but older people always once they start like a conversation and something triggers a memory, they just go down this rabbit hole of how life used to be and what they used to do and how they used to do it. And you be like, I've heard this story 50 times already.
How many times?
I know. But you gotta let them live their best life. You gotta let them go ahead and go back down memory lane.
And speaking of childhood trauma, like while we talking about this, every time I talk to my dad on the phone, I try to call him. I'm trying to do better with that because I had to deal with myself with how I felt about things that happened while I was growing up. And I had to deal with that through therapy. And I had to have therapy with him once upon a time because I was real angry at him. I did not fuck with him like that for a long time, for some years.
Right.
And and we're going to talk about later in the episode how to deal with whatever you may be having, whatever feelings you may be having towards your parents from childhood trauma. But I had personally had to do therapy because I knew I wasn't well or healed thinking about some of the things from my childhood concerning him.
Right.
Not them collectively, just him. And, he called and like I think he still is dealing with the way that his part in raising us as we were growing up because he just apologized every time. Like he's just so remorseful. And I'm just like, okay, I understand. Like I'm not upset with you. Like I get it. Like don't explain it to me like I'm 5. I'm 36. I get it.
I do appreciate the fact that he understands his doing and everything and he is remorseful and apologizing. That's a really good sign. But now you're beating the dead horse. We get it. We get it, Pops. You beating the dead horse.
And then he be doing it at the wrong times. Like, girl, one day, okay, my birthday recently, he called to tell me happy birthday and I was at work. He always called the weirdest ass times. Like, I don't know what the fuck he be doing. I remember one birthday, he called me at midnight. I was like, I'm asleep. I done ate a brownie. I done got high for sugar. I'm asleep. So then this past birthday, he called and I was at work. So I said, I asked another teacher to step in my classroom so I could go take the call. Because I don't like missing calls from them. It's just select people in my family. I just be like, I'll call you back later.
Right.
Yeah, you do too much. And I'm at work. My daddy sometimes is one of those people. So I go in the office to talk to him, and he's talking about, when we were there evacuating and how he wished he apologizing again, and then talking about my uncle, and I'm just like, okay, all right, thank you for the birthday wish. Thank you.
I will talk to you later.
I have to go back to my job. Thank you. And he just, I don't know. I guess he feels so guilty about all the stuff that happened because I'm pretty sure he does it to my siblings too. Because he still is dealing with how he feels as a parent.
Right.
And then it's weird, like the stuff you go through in your childhood with them, the traumas and all of that, they become these needy ass people. Both your parents sometimes become these needy people.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to deal with some of your childhood shit like right then.
That is true. Yep. You definitely have to do that because, like my grandma used to always say, well, not my grandma, my auntie, you're a baby twice and an adult once. And once they get older, they start to revert back to how they were when they were kids, and then they start reliving all of that shit all over again in their mind. So now, as their child, you gotta deal with them trying to relive that, trying to heal from that, and also dealing with your own shit. So it's crazy the dynamics of that and how the child parent relationship just intertwines and evolves because you literally have to
reparent them.
Yeah, you got to reparent them, and you have to be this disciplinary. You have to be the coach, the life coach. You gotta be,
and I hate.
You gotta get a warm hug and all of that.
I hate that shit. Girl. Like both of them do that, and it's like my mama with her locks. She got locks like a few months ago, and she asked me all these questions about my hair, and I just be like, "You ain't gonna do it. What you asking me for? You ain't gonna do it." So it's like I'm talking essentially to another child. Both of them,
of course.
And then I think too, like I have to, like I said, I go back in my mind of all like the childhood shit, and then I had to remind myself like, okay, you working through that. Don't bring that shit up. Don't be petty and be like, well, you know. I did that one time. I almost got popped. And I might have been like college age.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that shit came up, but like I was still mad about it and I brought it up. I was like, remember when XYZ? And then it was like, yep. That's another thing we need to talk about.
Okay.
You got one?
So my example, yes, of course I have one. Probably have like a ton of them. But the one I will speak of, so I had to be like, I was like 5, 6. I think it was 6. And this is when I was living in Vegas at the time. And they had the big Mike Tyson Holyfield fight. So me, my mama, and my cousin, and I want to say one of her friends, we all went down there to just to see the celebrities. That was the time to be out there amongst everybody. Like we saw all types of people. We saw like Spike Lee. I said Spike Lee.
Yeah, you did.
Spike. What's his name? Spike Jones? Nope. Spike Lee Jones.
No.
Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Spike Lee, please don't kill us. We know who we talking about, I think.
We do. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I am hilarious. But anyway, so yeah, we saw them or seen him. We saw like different musicians, all different types of people. So we were just there to be amongst the crowd. Now y'all know this is the same time that Tupac got in that fight and they had the big old shootout.
Is that the fight?
MGM.
Is that the fight when he bit his ear? Is that the one?
I believe, yeah.
Oh,
I believe that's same fight. So wow. We were in like the hotel casino part of it or whatever, and me and my mom, all of us was about to walk out of MGM, and all of a sudden you heard somebody say, "They fighting over there. They fighting," and then somebody said, "They got a gun." So we went and hid like in between the slots. I remember this. We went and hid in between the slots first. And then my nerves got bad. Like I got antsy, got anxious, and I'm like, I got to go. I need to get out. So we on some Mission Impossible type shit. We going in and out of the fucking slots, trying to be safe, trying not to get trampled or anything like that. So we moving closer to the door, and I'm looking at this door and I'm like, this is my way out. Like, it's time to go. So I started running towards the fucking door. And all I hear is my mom in the background. Somebody catch my baby. Get my baby. And I make it out the door. I make it to the door and I walk clean. I walk outside. As soon as I walk outside, I walk dead into a nigga with a gun in my face. Oh. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So he telling everybody to line up on the wall. So it was like a whole bunch of them. It was like two people that had guns or something, and they had everybody line up on the wall, and we're basically just stuck there. And I'm fucking terrified because first of all, bitch, I ain't never seen a gun in person before, and let alone for it to be in my face like that. So we're sitting there for a while just waiting for something to happen. And then the people, the gunmen, they wind up running off. And so we ran to go towards the street. Girl, that was a I damn near pissed on myself, I will say. I damn near pissed on myself, girl. That was scary as hell because I didn't know if my life, I didn't know I was gonna still be here to see 31. I just didn't know. Okay, because nigga, the gun was just right there in my face, and I'm just stuck. And then my mom and them finally catch up, and then they just stuck too, because bitch, it's a gun. What are we supposed to do? It's a gun. But that is something I will never forget. That was a traumatic experience. And that caused me not to fuck with guns for a long time because I was afraid. I'm like, bitch, I don't want to die. But now I like guns, y'all. I like guns now, and I would shoot them. Pow pow. I would shoot them. I would shoot you. Okay, just playing.
That is very traumatic. Oh my gosh,
that was very traumatic, girl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, to this day, like every time I bring it back up, my mom would say, all I remember is saying, somebody catch my baby, because all I know is she looked up and I was gone. I was already to the door. She was I'm like, y'all wait too long. Let's get the fuck up out of here. And then boom, fucking gunman right there. Had everybody on the fucking wall. It was crazy.
That is really something.
That was a crazy fucking time.
Oh my God.
But I made it through, y'all. I'm still here.
Thank God for that, because Lord have mercy.
Girl. But yes, so with traumatic experiences, of course, that sticks with us for a long time. No matter how it might affect us, be it positively or negatively, it sticks with us. So the question is, why do you think we hold on to that kind of trauma?
That's a really good question. Damn, that's a good question.
I think it's just easier to hold on than to actually let it go.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like it's your personal reminder of, I guess, what not to do, or it's like a protecting type of thing, like a
defense mechanism.
Yeah,
almost.
like a defense mechanism. Like it's a reminder to let you know, like, this is something that happened. This is how it made you feel. Don't let it happen again, type of thing.
Yeah. I think that kind of makes sense to me. Is why we hold on to it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hard to let it go. That's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. That's like literally like you think you heal from something, like you running full speed. Like I fell a few episodes ago, and my knee scabbed. That's like when you holding on to the shit, it's like you put a Band-Aid on it mentally and physically and spiritually. You put a Band-Aid on it and then it scab up. You don't even put no Neosporin on it. You just let it scab up, big old nasty scab, and then all of a sudden you gotta take the Band-Aid off. The scab gotta come off, and it hurt. And it's just better because nobody, I don't know, I wouldn't say nobody, but I'm gonna just say that, like, people don't want to deal with the raw feeling of having to remember it.
Right.
Or sometimes, people stay away from certain things because they be triggered by whatever it may be that may trigger like an old childhood memory that wasn't a good one, a traumatic one.
Right. So they suppress it, they push it all the way to the back instead of actually dealing with it, because like you said, it's harder to deal with it. You have to be vulnerable enough, and you have to really strip yourself down to deal with traumatic things and actually evolving from it, actually growing through it and getting to the next level, people don't realize all of that stuff that's happened in the past that you've held on to stunts your growth. And if you don't deal with it, if you don't acknowledge it, if you don't heal from it, you're not going to grow as big, as tall, as strong, as powerful as you would want to, because you're still holding on to all this other shit that makes you weak.
I think we hold on to a lot of things that happened to our childhood, like physically too. Like, the way we stand, or like just the tension in our body. And like with doing yoga, like I've learned in the last, it's been more than 5 years, I think, since I've been practicing. But I think in the years that I've learned, practice and learned the deeper meanings of like some of the movements in yoga, it just simply goes back to reflexology and learn that like we do hold a lot of tension from our life experiences in our bodies. That's why sometimes they hurt, because you be done held on to something for so long, it start physically manifesting in your body, and you don't know how to get rid of it.
Exactly.
Like when people say unclench your jaw, sometimes that might be a triggering thing. Well, not a triggering thing. Clenching your jaw just might be like some anxiety type shit, but that might be some other shit from like a memory or a childhood trauma or something like that.
Like that's how you deal with said stress or anxiety that you're probably going through. So you do like little things like clench your jaw, or you might crack your knuckles, or you might, clench and unclench your hands, your fists, shake your leg, walk, pace around, pace in circles, whatever it is. Everybody has their little trigger moment or their little reflex that happens whenever they're in a triggering type of moment.
Absolutely.
Right. And I feel like, and all of that hinders us, can hinder you in the future when you hold on to everything that's happened in your childhood. It can hinder you as an adult because you don't allow yourself to grow from that space. As much as you do, you might finish school, you might be the top dog in your position in your field, you might sit on paper, you might look successful, you might have the life or the dream, but if you are still holding on to childhood trauma, that's going to haunt you for the rest of your life. You're still going to feel like you're missing something. You're still going to feel like you're trying to fill a hole that never was filled. And that's because you haven't dealt with previous traumas. That's because you haven't allowed yourself to grow and to feel and to just break down and acknowledge what the hell has happened to you.
I think when you say that, the perfect example came into my head. It was like people that may be sneaker junkies. They buy sneakers a lot. They may be compensating for being made fun of as children,
right,
for sneakers they didn't have growing up. And they just be over, or people that buy a lot of stuff, they may just be overcompensating for stuff they didn't have growing up, stuff that they couldn't get because they didn't have the money, or stuff their parents wouldn't let them buy, or stuff. Some people fill that hole with stuff,
right? And you can't do that, honestly. Like, it helps in the moment. It's instant gratification at that time, but you're going to continuously look for that high. You're going to continuously look for that feeling. You're going to have to keep buying. So that means you need to adjust your life so that you can have the money to do the things that you want, or to get that instant gratification consistently, instead of when you can just go ahead and deal with it and acknowledge that this is what's going on. This is, I see why I am buying all these things, or I see why I do life in a certain way. Now I need to acknowledge what it is. I need to heal from it and then make my adjustments. Now, some people, they probably just feel like, I'm going to keep buying, I'm going to keep doing because that's what I like to do. But make sure you're doing it in a healthy way. You're doing it for the right reasons, per se, instead of doing it to fill a hole that will never be filled.
Right. Because buying all that shit, you just end up being a hoarder.
Yep.
But yeah, like on that tip, I was just thinking about something, a conversation I had with a friend some days ago. A lot of the ways that we react, like we were just talking about, a lot of the ways that we react, a lot of our tendencies and habits we have as adults come from stuff that happened in our childhood.
Yep.
Like if your parents spoke negatively to you, that's
That's gonna mess with your self
that's how
esteem.
that's how you view yourself in a sense, but that's how you view like certain challenges. Like if they spoke down on you, or oh, you ain't got the skills, or you can't do this, or just in a negative manner, then that's how you view shit. Now if your parents spoke to you and affirmed you, you tend to have a more of a positive outlook on different even if it's a challenge. You tend to think of it as the glass half full instead of half empty. And it's a lot of the shit that we do is based on, our childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it may be like traumatic, and maybe to some people, the way their parents spoke to them is traumatic and they still remember it, and that's how they still moving. Or to others, they trying to unlearn all of that with their own families.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they see some of the patterns, and they, trying to do everything that they can to unlearn it. Like people may be like, I got one friend, she a worse cleaner freak than me. She will bleach bomb the fuck out your house if it ain't clean correctly.
Oh Lord.
And we were talking, and we were talking about just our childhoods in general, because she's an older sister like me. And, talking, just relating and talking about how the way our parents made us clean. Like, that's why we clean the way we do now. Or, why we don't have kids is because we had to watch everybody else growing up. And that's something I'm still dealing with in therapy.
Exactly.
But it all plays a part, thinking about like your experiences, period, especially traumatic ones, the negative ones. They play a part. Like, just go back and take stock and be like, okay, I'm doing XYZ. This comes from, or you may have been unblocked it out so much that you don't really want to fuck with it.
Right.
And I mean,
buried it so deep.
Yeah. And our advice to that is just go back to it when you feel like you have the emotional capacity to deal with it. Because sometimes we don't always have it and can't come up with it to deal with whatever it was.
Right. So give us some ways to heal from childhood trauma.
Like we just said, acknowledge and recognize the trauma for what it is, or who, even if it hurts, just who it was that did it to you, or for what it was as a totality of a situation. Don't let it take power over you. Reclaim your control. Seek support and don't isolate yourself. Take care of your health.
That's hard.
It is
the isolating yourself, because I know I do that. Like when I'm not my best, when I don't feel like I'm at my best, I will isolate myself completely.
Like you don't be wanting to see nobody.
Exactly. I don't want to see no one. I don't really want to talk. I just want to be alone because I need to deal with it myself. And then I don't like putting my energy onto other people, because that shit, that transference, the energy transference is real, and I don't want to be the party pooper. I don't like that. The Downy Devil, the Debbie Downer,
negative
Nancy. I don't want to be that person, because that's not me. So I would rather be by myself than to be around other people.
And then too, you got to think about when you say not unloading, as we talked about in another episode, you can't unload your shit onto people anyway,
right?
Because you don't know what other people are dealing with to a point where they even want to deal with your shit. At this point, because I keep that in mind, and we've had that conversation multiple times, I don't answer the phone. Like if I know you calling for some bullshit, I don't want to hear it, because I'm dealing with my own shit. I cannot deal with it.
Right.
I will delay answering your phone call or replying to your text message, because I'm not at capacity to deal with your shit and whatever I got going on. That's not fair to me.
Right.
For myself.
Amen.
I can't, and then you gonna ask me some advice. I can't give you shit. I ain't got it. I can't. I'm not coming up with it. I don't have it. I'm not answering. I ain't got it. Yeah. When them children be at school trying to explain something to me, I listen. I be like, hold on, baby, give me about 5 minutes. I ain't got it right now. I don't be lying to them children. I be trying to prepare them because you can't just unload on people without being considerate and asking.
Right.
And they be unloading, child.
Oh, I already know. Be unloading their shit and everybody else shit too.
Girl, be telling all the business.
All the business. But yeah, I'm sorry. Next. You said, what was next? You said take care of your health.
Take care of your health. Do what it is you need to do. If you need to go to a beginner yoga class, go do that shit. It's okay if you fight in class. That's okay.
Did you say fighting class? Mm-hmm.
That happened to a lady. Sorry, lady.
Did she say girl, go tell this lady business. Go ahead.
But yeah, if you need to, she not gonna let me do it. If you need to go to yoga class, go to that. Go to the beginner class, the hot yoga for 90 minutes.
Oh, I want to do hot yoga
and get all that out. That really, really helps. They turn it up to like 97 degrees. You literally sweat out the toxins from your day, and that really helps you release a lot. So I recommend hot yoga. Find you a yoga spot, Magnolia Yoga Studio, downtown. Excellent work. Get you a gym membership if that's the route you feel like you need to go to. Because sometimes hitting them weights and running, pounding the treadmill might be for you.
Right. Just going outside.
Yeah, getting some vitamin D.
Something active. Yeah.
And getting some sun and getting the other vitamin D might help if that's what you want to do.
They do say that works wonders for the heart. Yep.
It does, and for your skin
and you burn
too.
Calories.
Oh
too.
Yeah. Read a book. Like sometimes it takes for us to get the fuck away from reality for a minute. Read a book, watch a movie. Even though a lot of the movies have already told stories that's about to happen, just go watch a movie that makes you feel good. I mean, hell, I watched the Wayans Brothers I don't know how many times and laugh every fucking time as if it's a new episode. Do that.
Right.
One thing my good friend, God rest his soul, he always told me before he passed, one rule of thumb. He said, never, whatever's going on in your life, never go to sleep bogged down. Always find something to laugh at. If you one of them people that have to sleep with the TV on, find something funny to watch.
Right.
So you can go to sleep in a good mood. You wake up, you feel better. It's a new day to start your shit over again.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And the last tip that I think I have for taking care of your health is don't overthink too much or don't overwhelm yourself with whatever you got going on in your life. If you got school, if you got a full-time job, if you got side projects that you're working on that you're really trying to get pushed through, don't put so much pressure on yourself if it's not done at a certain time.
Right.
Don't overdo it either. Or don't force it, because most of the time, as we've said before, you force something, it'll show that it's forced and it's not really prepared and it's not from your heart.
Amen.
Another tip is learn the true meaning of acceptance and let that shit go. Like once you say, I've accepted this situation, this is what happened, you let it go, don't bring it up again.
Right, leave it there. And I think a lot of people have that bad to where they say they forgive or they say they accept, but they keep talking about it, they keep bringing it back up and getting themselves angry all over again. You need to just acknowledge what the fuck's going on, acknowledge it and accept it and be at peace with it. Like everything is not going to go your way per se. Everything is not going to make sense. But if this is what's in front of you, if the painting in front of you is blue, like this wall is blue, I might feel like it's purple, but it's blue. I need to accept the fact that, you know what, how I'm perceiving it and how it really is are two different things. And I need to accept that. I need to accept that this person has hurt me. It is what it is. Now, what am I going to do with that information? Am I going to dwell in this hurt? Am I going to drown myself in this hurt? Or am I going to pick up my pieces and get the fuck on?
Hello.
Let's pick up the pieces. Y'all pick up the pieces. I'm sorry.
Every fucking episode you do this.
My bad, y'all. I couldn't let that one slide.
Every fucking now I gotta go watch Martin when I get home. Every fucking episode you do this. Oh my god! But you ain't lying though. I swear you're not. You got a point.
Yes, you gotta pick. pick up the pieces and keep it moving, y'all. Like that hurt is not going to do anything but hurt you.
My grandma said, "Don't wallow in it."
Hey, like why would you want to? Why would you want to constantly live in pain, live in discomfort? Like, come on, y'all. Let's let's accept it. Let's just accept it for what it is and keep it moving. Do better.
Oh my god. Um, Another tip is replace bad habits with old ones. I think I was reading some like before I started back in the gym that said like it takes 30 days or something to break a, no
21 days, huh?
21 days to break a bad habit and what 30 days to build a new one in its place or something like that.
I think so.
So, replace the bad habits with good ones. Like if you know that you're an overthinker and things easily get you upset, don't put yourself in situations where there's something that's definitely going to be there to trigger you to bring back a certain memory of your childhood that wasn't very flattering or wasn't happy. Um and just start doing other things to put in place of the bad thoughts, the negativity.
Right.
Give yourself some affirmation shit. Write them down. I mean, shit, I write mine out. Like I got a whole dry erase board in my bedroom full of affirmations and things I need to do. Right. Personally, we both got dry erase boards full of shit.
Mm-hmm. I need to update mine. Actually.
Look, song lyrics that affirm what we trying to do, or I got this whole little board with like letters and stuff. I forgot, a light board, I think that's called. Mm-hmm. I put different little slogans on it that reflect how I feel. I really do my best to try to affirm myself instead of negative down talk myself. And I think the last tip would be to be patient with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, you can let things go and you can start the process, but give yourself some time and some space. Give yourself, the biggest word is some grace. Don't beat yourself up because you didn't let it go or you're still dwelling on it after X amount of time. Like, some people still need some time. Depending on what it is, you need a lot of time. Like if it's something heavy, like somebody in your family may have like molested you or something like that. That's
rape,
heavy.
All of that.
I don't see, you have to feel some kind of rage about that certain situation. And it takes a long time to get over that. You really don't. In that situation, you don't get over it. You just kind of deal with it as best you can and tuck it away, but you can only tuck it away for so long.
Right.
And I think in that situation, you have to deal, if you feel that way, deal with that person face to face if that's what you would like to do, or you just deal with the situation without seeing the person and without dealing with them.
Right.
Do the best you can with what you got. Okay?
Amen. Amen. That's a lot of great tips you gave. I think that covers the wide range and board of trying to just heal and not necessarily get over what has happened, but to accept it in a way and actually deal with it so that you can live your most prosperous life. Mm-hmm. Hand clap for you. Hand clap for you.
I feel like we did a good episode with the tips, only because everybody goes through childhood trauma, and one thing that I'm learning in actually dealing with mine and not like shoving it in, is like, oh, I had a happy child. No, from the story I just told y'all, no. It was some good times, but it was some bad times too.
Right.
And acknowledging that there were some bad times in your childhood is completely okay. It's completely normal. If you ask any therapist, they're gonna be like, okay, I want to talk about it. I want to go there. They gonna want to go there, and you gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Trust me. And I think it's dope that like I'm with somebody that also has had childhood trauma, but we try to intentionally do better,
right?
Way better than our parents when it comes to our relationship, what we're building, and if we were to have a family, the way we would operate as a family, based on the things that we went through as children, dysfunctional things that we went through as children. Like, I know I was reading a conversation. There's somebody on Twitter I've been following about positive parenting. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people are not trying to hear that still. A lot of people in our generation are not trying to hear that. And I get it because we were raised a certain way. We did get pinched, hit, and all of that. I get it. I get it. It's not right, but I get it.
Did you at least pinch the bitch?
This is not for that situation right now.
It's not Joe, but that seems.
But no, I want y'all to go on Twitter and follow her if you feel so inclined. Her name is Super Mama on Twitter. She has red locks.
Okay.
And she's doing courses on positive parenting, and educators can even get in on some of her courses about like positive teaching and positive classroom management instead of some of the old ways that we may have been managed in class, like go sit in timeout or
write them lines.
Yeah, or clap them erasers or whatever.
Yeah, girl.
Things that we had to do. Write 100 lines of "I will not chew gum" in class, shit like that.
We had to write scriptures, Bible scriptures.
Oh, because you went to Catholic school. That's right.
We had to write Psalms 31.
Child. Oh,
that was their go-to. If you did something, you had to go write songs, and that's a long ass fucking. That's a long bitch.
You see how I'm looking at you? Because it is. Songs is long.
But yep, we had to go do that.
Oh, son.
Girl, bless my Lord.
Oh, God. Or like, the conversation that's coming up when it comes to childhood trauma is, the discipline conversation. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I got hit with a belt. I done got hit with a shoe. I got popped. Let me see what I got popped with. A hand. Open hand, just a little. I done got pinched. What else? And now I'm realizing as an adult, like that was fucked up.
You don't always have to hit the kids. You
don't.
Sometimes them little motherfuckers need to be beat because like they too smart by the mouth and they be knowing what the hell they doing. Sometimes you gotta beat the little nigga. Yeah,
I beat them to the inch of their life because as a mandated reporter,
not to the inch. Like, no, I mean like
I'm reporting y'all asses if I find out.
You gotta hit them sometimes. But if you talk to a lot of times, if you talk to kids, they will respond. If you talk to them on the level that they need to understand and comprehend what they're doing, they will, and you'll get through to them. But it's the ones that they repeat offenders, the repeat offenders. That's the ones that you might have to whoop. You might got to beat the sense into them sometimes. Sometimes just don't kill them. Just, shake them up. Shake the table.
So, yeah, that's been a debate as of late with our generation about, the things that we endured as children when it came to like physical discipline. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was in elementary school, we had a paddle. So if you ever had to go to the principal's office, you got your ass paddled, depending on how bad it was what you did. Girl. Now, one time I wrote a bad word on a blacktop, the new blacktop we had just got on the playground, and I had to go to the office and I got paddled. And my mama let them paddle me too, because they called her and it was like, "Do we have permission to paddle her?" And this is what she did. And I think the difference between our generation, the way we was raised, and now with with children, is I don't think our parents didn't explain it to us until after the fact. If at all.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact my dad, because I know who my daddy is, I would get spanked, and sometimes I wouldn't get an explanation about why until like days later after I done got spanked.
And they love to use that line. It hurt me more than it hurt you.
Oh, bitch. And it's like, bitch, you a motherfucking liar. This is tearing my ass up.
Girl, but yeah, a lot of times parents, they didn't explain what was going on or why the thing that the child did was bad or why it was looked at as being bad. Parents did not like to explain anything. Their favorite line was, "Because I said so."
That's
Because I told you so.
Because I said, my grandma still used that, and she 82 years old.
And I feel like parents say that because they don't have a real explanation as to why.
And then too,
that's the easiest thing to say.
And then too, I think our parents didn't have the tools that we have now.
Right.
So to give an explanation or to give an example of why the situation happened and panned out like it did, instead of I told you so. Because my parents are good, were good for I told you so. But now they got grandchildren. Ain't a no in their body. Ain't a no in my grandma body either.
Girl.
But now I feel like it's better because the parents that are our generation, they have the tools to better explain, okay, why this punishment is one thing that I find is weird. Punishment. They don't want you to say the word punishment no more. Well, what the fuck is it?
They have a new word or something?
They just don't want you to say punishment because, like, in our teacher trainings that we have to do online, like, they don't like you saying, like, if you have to sit somebody in timeout, and you have to talk to a parent, they don't they don't like you saying punishment. Like, if you had to tell the parent what the kid did and you say, oh, for punishment, they don't want you to say that. If they want you to say anything at all, because they feel like you need to do more positive teaching than that.
Well, what about the discipline? Because discipline is needed.
This is why my job is so hard, because I can't just say I told you so. Like, I effectively have to use parenting skills I didn't know I had in my job. I can't just say I told you so. I quit saying I told you so a long time ago because they've been saying, and teacher trainers don't say that. Don't say, just if you tell somebody to do something, don't say I told you so, because then they be like, well, what the fuck ever, and kid, that doesn't really fix the situation,
Right.
And I think the same goes with parents. Like, I told you so. That don't really fix it. So I get the whole explanation, but they saying don't say punishment. But you gotta give them some kind of consequence. Say consequence. That's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of consequence to fit whatever it is, what the lesson is you trying to get through to them. And I think our parents, they did the best they could with what they have, and they really was repeating the cycle because that's what they know. It really just boils down to, when you discuss your childhood trauma, just trying to unlearn what the previous generation did. That's all that is.
Right.
Trying to do it a better way, a different way, a healthier way, a more positive way, if you can, to, make sure that the future generations be changed by your doing. That's really what it boiled down to.
I agree. I think we definitely covered a lot this episode as far as childhood trauma, healing from it, and Dom giving us amazing tips on how to heal from it. We hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Of course, we got a lot of things in the books, you heard me. Y'all should know by now, we do have our shirts, our Mardi Gras special edition shirts on sale right now, all the way up until Mardi Gras. That weekend before Mardi Gras, we will have shirts. These shirts are flying off the shelf, you guys. Like,
you better get you one.
Please, you better get you one ASAP, because I don't know if we're gonna be doing another restock. Okay, we just did a quick restock because the shirts went so quick, but I don't know if we're gonna be doing another one. So you better put in your orders now, right now. DM us, text us, just hit us up, let us know what you want, and we'll let you know if we got it. Also, what else we got going on?
If y'all want to still give to Alan Keller for the tailgate together, that's still available. We'll probably be posting it, if not daily, like every other day, the information to give to Alan. If you have any donations you want to give in our name or whatever you want to give to Alan for our homeless neighbors, please hit him up at Alan K _81 on Twitter and Instagram, or just DM us if y'all have something you want to give. I know I need to give some shit, but yeah, we still doing that. We want to highlight that because it's cold outside. If y'all got coats, please DM Alan or us if you got coats, because they need coats. With the way it's been cold lately, they really need coats to stay healthy and to stay warm.
Yes.
What else we got going on? Oh yeah, this episode was driven to you by Royal Honda. If you need you a Honda, go get you a Honda, girl.
Okay. Also, y'all make sure that y'all check out bootcrewmedia.com for all of our sister and brother podcasts and exclusive content. Make sure y'all shop with Sweet Embrace as well. And wash your hands, wash your ass, and wear your mask. Okay. We will catch y'all next episode. Peace.